reasons. First of all, that the government is losing ground, and number two, being with the ruling party while it falls will affect them negatively and not positively. They know that the regime is hurting citizens, innocent protesters who are demanding peaceful change in Yemen. So this will force them to have a strong action to show the people who represented them or who voted for them that we are standing for your rights. And if the government attacks you or does anything to hurt you, we will stand with you and we will resign from the ruling party. This has hurt the ruling party very much, and we do expect over the next week or so more to resign from the ruling party, because those who are resigning are now creating a new bloc which are calling for the rights of the people and are saying that they will defend the people and not any party in specific, whether the opposition or the ruling party.
Can I ask you about that new bloc in just a moment, but first I want to know why they think the opposition is winning. Why are they trying to distance themselves from the government? What signs are there that the government's losing at the moment?
Every time the government uses violence, this is a strong sign that they are losing control. If they were strong, they would not use any violence or attack any innocent protesters. Today in Ib, we have over 50 protesters who were injured while they were only protesting peacefully. They feel that the protests in Ib are growing, but they don't understand that the more attacks that take place in Yemen, the stronger these protesters will be, and the bigger outcome will come the next time they protest. These protests have been continuing now for days and in some provinces weeks. They will not grow, they will not stop, and they will continue to grow with every attack that the government does against these protesters. Now, they get stronger by the day.
I'm sorry, Sheikh Hassan Ali Anam, we've run his name at the bottom of our screen. He's the latest of the MPs to quit. I understand there is a suggestion that while there are members of the ruling party bailing out at the moment, there are others who may do the same from different alignments, and that they may all get together.
That is possible, and we do even expect over the next week or so more and more resigning, not only from the ruling party, but the opposition as well, and joining this bloc, which is calling for peaceful change and for the rights of the people. The people who have joined the bloc right now currently are people who have a good name and are credible in the eyes of the people, somewhat. And what we feel right now is that if the opposition JMP parties decide to go into dialogue with the ruling party, the street will then follow this new bloc that is being made up, because the opposition was not up to their demands and is entering any dialogue. So this bloc puts the opposition in a stronger stance not to enter any dialogue with the ruling party and to stay away as much as it can from the ruling party, because it feels that if it does any mistakes against what the demands of the people are, this bloc could grow larger, and even the members of the opposition could join with them, making the opposition burn its card in the current time, which is unacceptable, and the opposition will feel that they have to demand the regime to fall.
Mr. Al-Masmari, thank you for bringing up to date with what you believe is happening in Yemen. Good to have you on this news hour. In Egypt, several eyewitnesses say that the army has fired shots in the air to disperse about 1,000 protesters in front of the state security headquarters. For more, I'm joined on the phone by Wael Abbas, who was there at the time. Can you tell me what you saw?
The army was surrounding the Ministry of Interior with tanks and soldiers, apparently SEALs or some special forces like that. And the protesters were demanding to enter the building and to see what's inside, if there are any prisoners, any documents, and to deliver these documents to the general prosecutor. But the army was refusing completely to let anybody in. And the demonstrators were determined to stay, and they were chanting like this is a peaceful protest and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, the army started shooting in the air and opened the cordon and started chasing the protesters with tasers and beat them up. And they were also stuck at our back, so we were kind of surrounded there. And the attack was was happening in the same time, which was really suspicious in my opinion.
Would you say
we had to run away and disappear in the streets of downtown Cairo, but some of my friends were beaten severely, and some were arrested. I can't confirm about the arrest yet, but I hear that some people we cannot reach at the moment.
Would you say there's a tension between the protesters and the army now that there wasn't during the days of the revolution?
There was always tension from one time to the other because some protesters are very suspicious about and skeptical about the army. I was there yesterday in the Nasr City headquarters of the state security, and the army wasn't that hostile, and we were able to enter the building. We were able to secure the documents until somebody from some judges and some people from the general prosecutor office came to take the documents. But today they were very hostile. They were not friendly. I don't know why.
Thank you. That's Wael Abbas talking to us from Cairo. Well, the Egyptian Prime Minister's office says it's now appointed Nabil Al-Arabi as the country's foreign minister, part of a cabinet reshuffle there. He's a former judge at the International Court of Justice and was a permanent representative to the United Nations. He replaces Ahmed Abul Gheit, who was the country's foreign minister for 7 years. Coming up in this news hour, China stepping up security in Beijing and Shanghai as groups call for protests similar to those in the Middle East and North Africa. And why the Japanese foreign minister saying sayonara after just 6 months in the job.
Qatar, as independent as you are.
From local traders to international finance, it's commerce that makes the world go round. For global companies and developing markets, communication is the currency, and information is the most valuable commodity. Counting the cost at this time on Al Jazeera.
Hello, David Foster with you on this Al Jazeera News Hour, and a reminder of the main developments in Libya. Opposition forces have been regrouping around Bin Jawad after pro-Gaddafi fighters recaptured the town early on Sunday. It's in the middle of the embattled coastline area between Benghazi and the country's capital, Tripoli. Misrata, that's further to the west, and rebels say they've